Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast. Today it is a 1 vs 1 on Orbital Shipyard between our red Protoss player, Mello, or probably better known as Puck. And down on the bottom we have our blue Terran player, TY. And we're going to speed this on up a little bit. The 2-minute mark of the game, and everything gets good, and all this other stuff happens. Otherwise, we're just going to be watching buildings build, which I don't even know if it's a phrase, but I'm going to coin that phrase, buildings build. And have a Reaper out on the map for TY, moving on out towards his opponent's base. And gonna get some scouting information and hopefully a couple probe kills, which is always a good idea and always optimal. And the Reaper may catch up to this probe here and get himself a kill, but oh, there goes a D8 charge. He's gonna try and juke that probe around a little bit and takes out his first probe. One probe lost. First blood of the game. And here we go, now moving on out. There is a Zealot out on the map, but no match for a Reaper. Reaper a little bit too quick for the Zealot. Just makes him micro a little bit more. And there he goes. Reaper showing that Zealot who's boss by shooting him in the face once or twice. Just sort of making his shields ripple around. And I'm trying to get another probe kill here and disrupts all of those probes. Now we have a mothership core out on the map, and doesn't look like the Reaper can really withstand that. It's going to try and juke around a little bit, but otherwise, maybe perhaps do a little bit of damage to that Zealot there, but not going to try and juke the mothership core, and looks like that's exactly what it's going to do, and throw another D8 charge there to disrupt those probes, and it disrupts mining temporarily, and everything counts. And an engineering bay going up in the middle of this base here to disrupt the mining. I think that's pretty humorous. I'm not sure. I think that's the first time I've seen that, and that's funny. But he cancels it, gets 94 of his minerals back, and that Reaper there in a little bit of trouble, but he's going to get out just fine. Throws another D8 charge, chucked around a few more probes. Didn't get to see that one, though, but certainly it chucked around a couple probes. Adepts now chasing down the Reaper there. And Reaper nearly full health. Got 10 more health to go. And now the Adept's going to be moving towards that Terran base, but I don't think they're going to be able to do too much. We have quite a bit of Marines now moving out. 7 or 8 Marines there. And a Cyclone out on the map here. Maybe chasing down that Adept. And was locked on. TY with this Reaper still going strong here, and we'll see if he decides to chuck a D8 charge. There it goes, and that might get a lot of them. That gets a lot of probes there and disrupts them temporarily. And here comes 8 Marines or so, and a Cyclone locked onto the mothership core now, trying to take this out. And 400 damage, not gonna happen. Almost took out the mothership core, did damage it heavily though. The Reaper looks like he's on his last limb here. 2 health, and there he goes. Stalker finishes that Reaper off, but he did quite a bit of damage overall to the Protoss. Got 1 or 2 probes, and it did disrupt the mining for quite a while there. Actually lost a little bit more resources than his opponent, but the income lost overall for Mello, I think, was much more. And now building up a couple barracks here. A couple tech labs going on the barracks there, and a stim pack being created. Being researched, rather. Oh, semantics. Either way, you guys get the point. Supply depots lowered into the ground. Engineering bays being created 2 at a time there. Now second expansion going up for the Protoss player, Puck. And no second expansion just yet for our Terran player. Has that orbital command, but using it to fuel up that other expansion, his natural, just yet. And that orbital command will be lifting off shortly. Probably will get a little bit oversaturated here, so we can Maynard and transfer them on over to the other mineral field here. And Starport switching up with that reactor, going to be pumping out some medevacs, more than likely. And now Siege Tank moving on out here. And another reactor being built on the barracks. And it looks like Puck is ready to do some damage here if he can. Summoning in some of those stalkers, warping, summoning. Either way. And Observer right above the Terran base here. Seeing everything TY's doing. And everything that he has for the most part. Not sure if he's seen actually in the base of TY or not. Check Mello's vision here. Doesn't really see what all he's got here, but it looks like the stalker's going to be leaping up, and now he definitely sees what's going on. And force field preventing some of those units from getting in. Medevac dropped some units. I'm surprised that Medevac wasn't instantly destroyed by those stalkers there, but he was focusing on the Marines and things that were being dropped, and all these SCVs are being destroyed, so there's going to be so much lost here for TY. And all of that mining time also lost on all those CVs as well. And used lost right now was actually a little bit more for Puck at the moment, which was a little bit surprising. And level 1 infantry and armor being upgraded. Also have that resonating glaze for those adepts. And also producing some disruptors as well. And now the Widow Mines. Moving on out with the Marines and the Marauders. You're going to put a couple of those in a medevac and drop them somewhere good. And we'll see if he decides to drop them in this expansion here and bring them all the way around to the natural. But it looks like that is what he's doing. Or perhaps not. Nope, going to just try and juke around in between all this. But he was definitely spotted for sure. And the debris nearly destroyed here. I'm going to force the cancellation of this Nexus and pylons. Meanwhile, dropping a couple Widow Mines in the base here. One over here and one in the natural. Sure, why not? And some Marauders and Marines going to test the waters here and decide that is not a good idea, so they're just going to bail for now. Overcharged pylon there. Cannot spot that Widow Mine. To bring over an Observer. And there goes a photon cannon now to spot that, and is finished off by the mothership core there. Or rather, the overcharged pylon finished it off, but, you know, either way, it is destroyed. No more Widow Mines in the base here. And Disruptor gets a few kills there, and sends that Marauder flying. Did a flip in the air, too. And looks like that destroyer was picked up by the warp prism there, and gonna eat another disruption there. And multiple stalkers being warped in here with some zealots, Marines, Marauders, a couple Widow Mines being brought in as well. Dropped a couple of those Widow Mines in the back, gonna try and lure the Protoss army over those Widow Mines. And blows up one or two of those adepts, and gonna try and Nova on this group, but fails to do so. And that Nexus still being developed. And now additional reinforcements moving on in, and a Liberator as well. Here comes a Nova and fails to get anything. A couple Liberators here in Defender mode. Another one in Defender mode now. And Medevac's flying off the other way. Gonna try and drop some Marines in the back side of the base here. Get a few probe kills, and it looks like he will. There is a Disruptor there. And there he goes. Now gonna boost on in there a little bit. And now dropping Marines. And gotta drop a few more of them over here, but there is a photon cannon there that's gonna give him a hard time. And another photon cannon on the other side there. And some Marines just harassing, shooting random buildings, causing his opponent to micro a little bit. And now with TY moving out again with all of those Liberators. And a couple of them going into defense mode here, covering the area. And Disruptor hits all the middle. Nova in the middle of all of those troops there. Lost quite a bit on that one. And so many Adepts in this group here, and Stalkers. And Liberators going into defense mode. And blasting away with that 85 damage. Little laser dealios. And Mellow Puck is forced to GG out. TY the winner. Hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I'll see you guys next time.